We are now walking toward E3. E3, it's all about walking and lines and walking and also lines. Occasionally you get to play video games. There are many people at E3. I think they have like 10 or 20,000 people that come here, which is quite a few. And PAX is even more nuts. PAX is like this, plus the public, equals insane. Well, we've already talked with several people because we were sitting in those chairs over there. Now it is time to go into the main show proper. It's over that way. There's actually two halls at E3. There's like a South Hall and a West Hall. We're going to start with the West Hall because we're closest to it. We found a NASA JPL booth, and they've got these great simulations of all the satellites and whatnot that they have around the solar system, including the old Voyager 1 and 2.
Radioisotope thermoelectric generator.
And that's also what they have on the new Mars rover, right?
Exactly, yeah. These spacecraft essentially have three old versions of the one RTG we have on our new Curiosity Mars rover. It's basically you just carry around a hot rock. It's a slab of plutonium-238 in little kind of capsules,
right,
throwing out a lot of heat through nuclear decay, and we wrap the thing in thermopiles, and from that we can pull out a few watts of electricity. With Curiosity, it's about 115 watts of energy.
Right.
With the Voyager spacecraft, when they launched, it was around the 400 mark. It's now down to about 3/4, 2/3 of that.
Okay, so unlike a nuclear power generator, it doesn't create steam, but it does use
the inherent heat of the
yes. So it does use nuclear power to create energy.
Exactly.
So it lasts a lot longer.
Yes.
So with your first, the Spirit and Opportunity, the question was if the solar panels were covered with debris and dust, they would fail, but it lasted a lot longer than you thought it would.
They did very, very well indeed. We weren't expecting Mars to be quite as kind to us as it was with Spirit and Opportunity.
Did you consider windshield wipers, possibly?
So it's always an idea, like how do we get the dust off again? The problem is the mass, the volume, the power, and the complexity to drive, say, a windshield wiper. It's like, what do you trade to make room for that? And it's like, well, let's throw off an instrument or a camera or
it's like, no, we don't need a windshield wiper. Well, what if you just drove them really fast?
Yeah. Well, occasionally the Martian winds are strong enough to actually blow that dirt away again. And so
that's awesome.
The Opportunity rover is coming up on its 10th anniversary at the beginning of next year, still going strong. So some of our very old spacecraft actually use magnetic tapes as their medium and long-term storage, up to and including the Galileo spacecraft that was still exploring the Jupiter system in the middle of the last decade.
That's so cool. It's so awesome to think that humanity is projected that far into space. You know, it's like no matter what, it'll always be out there. So what is E3 like? Imagine the smell of new fresh carpet everywhere you smell. I was going to say look. And everywhere you look, there's lots of bright screens and colors and great logos and all sorts of cool stuff. It's basically a visual overload. But it's not as packed as PAX, which is good because PAX is insane. So we're going to wander around and see what cool stuff we can find in the back area of E3. Now, something you don't hear about with E3 are the special posh elevated clubs. Up there, a Shangri-La of dignitaries and other important people. But yeah, so there's a lot of kind of more secure areas, and you know, you need special passes and whatnot to get up there, but it's kind of interesting. It's kind of like an elite club. Up there we see the Swag Sony area. This is where all the Sony dignitaries and embassy peoples go. We have reports Barack Obama may up there, along with Senator John McCain, but we're not sure. This is unconfirmed there. Oh, look at that big wall over there. That's pretty cool. So yes, we're in the Sony area. One thing I really like about Sony's booths at E3 is they don't create lines. You can just kind of walk up and play whatever you want, which is very democratic of them. Yes, so we're going to check this area out. There's a lot of games here to play. It should be cool. How does the PlayStation 4's core graphic unit compare to its competitors? Okay. Right. So I've heard the used game policy is more open. Microsoft has announced a new controller for the Xbox One, the Howitzer. This will retail at $39,000 United States. Okay, so we found some actual Xbox One units. I believe this is Crytek's Rise with a Y, Son of Rome. So the polygon counts are clearly much higher. Right here it's simulating the Battle of Cleopatra, where the budget went over by $50 million. As a gamer myself, obviously, I'm very curious to see, you know, how this can apply to gameplay, because, you know, people talk about, you know, gameplay doesn't require graphics, but, you know, being able to create open worlds and whatnot is a part of immersion experience. So there's nothing wrong with great graphics. I mean, a game like Grand Theft Auto wouldn't have been possible in the Atari 2600. So people like to say graphics aren't everything, but there's certainly something. So we're here in the line for Xbox One's Rise, Son of Rome. I believe this is made by Crytek using the Cry engine, and there are no Crises or Far Cries going on. It's called Rise. Inception. Boom.
Wong there.
So I ran into another person, Josh. Yes.
Josh, yep.
How's it going, Josh?
Going good.
So you like the Ben Heck show?
Love the show. Great to meet you in person. I was wondering if you're going to make an Xbox One Super Console or something right now. So I don't know.
There's a new slim Xbox 360 which I'm going to buy as soon as I get home.
All right, cool. That's right.
So what was your favorite episode of our show?
I like the one where you mashed up all of the portable. Was it the portable gaming units?
Oh no, the Super Console.
That's it. Super
Yeah.
Console. One of my favorites.
But first thing, as soon as I get closer, I'm going to put my hand over and see how hot it is.
Exactly. I know they have vents. The whole thing is a vent, which I appreciate. As an original Xbox owner, I appreciate the vents.
It's like Design Edict 1. Vents.
Yeah. Who knows if it'll work or if the games are good, but it's going to be cool. We know that.
I saw the picture of the PlayStation 4, and my thought is industrial designer from 1985 was frozen, right? And then he was cryogenically awoken, where am I? Yes. My God, there's smartphones everywhere. I need a job. And Sony's like, we're going to hire you. There's actually blood or chocolate syrup being pumped out of the characters. It's pretty cool. So he's on his 13th liter of blood now, which I think is more than you have in your body, but that's all right. We're examining the Xbox One here using a telephoto lens. Clearly, more vents was the design edict with this console, but you really can't blame them for that. It does appear large. It's not Atari 5200 large, but it's definitely larger than a Xbox 360 and probably in the same ballpark as the original fat model PlayStation 3. And of course, I'm going to examine the console because that's what I do. Okay, we're in the Battlefield 4 line. We're going to do some awesome, sweet jumps. We have the pass, so let's check it out. Oh wow, look at the graphics, the character model.
That looks amazing.
We got to play Battlefield 4. It was really cool, although they didn't have my key binding set up. I mean, what the hell? But it was a lot of fun. The destructible environments were really cool, and I look forward to playing it this October. So a lot of people didn't like that there was no commander mode in Battlefield 3. Well, in Battlefield 4, commander mode is back. So this guy is basically the god of all the players. He pulls the strings! This looks like the AMD Xfinity display. This guy's playing BioShock Infinite on 3 monitors. What could be better than that, right? How about 5 monitors? Yes, that's right. You will have what looks like 160 degrees of view freedom or something. So people who complain about field of view in video games, here is your answer. Okay, we're here with Josh Jurtberg. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names. Okay. Anyway, you're from Exile Entertainment. You had some very successful Kickstarters recently, right?
Yeah, yep. Been pretty lucky.
Wasteland and what was the other one?
Torment.
But we're not here to talk about that. We're going to discuss pinball machines. Now, you're a big fan of John Papaduke?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
What's your favorite John Papaduke game?
I don't know. I guess it'd be a toss-up between Theater Magic and Tales of the Arabian Nights.
Is he your favorite designer, or those are your favorite games of his?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it'd be a toss-up between Steve Ritchie and John. I think maybe I appreciate John's the way he treats the theme and the way he presents the theme and the progression of the game it's got so much more flair to it. Steve appeals more to me as a player or like a hardcore player and like the more down in the nitty-gritty skills. But
one more quick question: if you could design a pinball machine, what would you make?
Oh, I would want to do. I'm like a nerd for fantasy and dragons. I'd want to do something that was something like that. Yeah, generic original theme. Yeah, something centered around dragons or something like that.
I know it's probably too obvious, but do you think Game of Thrones would work as a pinball, or is it too serious?
Oh, I don't know. If they could do CSI, I'm sure they could do Game of Thrones.
All right, well, Josh, thanks for talking with us. No and are you guys doing any more Kickstarters in the future?
I would not count that out. Yeah, I would. There'd definitely be something.
There's a real-life zombie here at the Capcom booth. I think we should try for an interview. So Sir, how do you feel your kind is portrayed in the media? Do you have a problem with the way that is? Right. I know, right? We have to fight for zombie equality. Gaming Museum, aka E3 of years past. Let's see what we can find. Oh, this is a great game. Pitfall 2. It had a special chip on the cartridge that gave it better music and sound on the Atari 2600. Old shrink-wrapped games. These are probably worth a mint. Oh, I remember these. Look, it's got the old price sticker on it. Oh my gosh. Oh man. $30. My mom couldn't afford $30 apparently. Wow. Jeez, where did they get all this stuff? Yeah, so this was the classic one. The football game with the little LEDs. Man. Oh, and I don't have it in the box, but I actually have one of these at home, so yay.
Yeah.
No, this is one of the most expensive games of all time. Nintendo World Championships.
Really?
It was only given away as a prize at a contest back in 1990. Mario 3, Rad Racer, and Tetris, and you play like one level of each as a competition. And then the winners got those cartridges. And yeah, that's probably like $10,000 right there. It's an Atari 800 computer. This was my first computer. And here it is. And this one's in very nice condition. Oh, you can swim just like Battlefield 4. Why would you need an Xbox One when you could have this? Look at this. Photorealism. Okay, not only did we see a rare Nintendo cartridge, but we found the bar. Look at all these people. All excited to see the new next-gen games which have finally come out after 9,000 years of waiting. Quite the line. We're going to actually go to the other hall and start at the Sony booth. Here we have the new 2014 Chevy Corvette, due out this year, to advertise Gran Turismo 6, due out in 2050. There's no huge lines, you can just kind of walk up and immediately play the next-gen consoles. It's very open to them. So this is Warframe running on the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 actually looks a lot better in person than it does on the internet. So these silver slits in front here are actually buttons, it turns out. The disc inserts there, and there are two USB ports here, and that slit there appears to be illuminated. I'm not sure exactly what the point of this white triangle at the end is. Maybe that's where the magic happens. Okay, we've got a good view of the PlayStation here. Apparently it doesn't have that white triangle on it. That must have been some sort of lockdown mechanism or something. It's very simple on the back. There's HDMI, SPDIF, AC in, and an auxiliary jack here, which I assume is probably for a camera or whatnot. But it's not a standard USB port. Oh, I didn't see that one. There's a LAN there as well. So no AV connector, because it's not 1903 anymore. Okay, so now that I've seen both consoles, I would say the PlayStation 4 is the better looking console. Again, it looks weird when you see it online, but in person it's pretty slick design. Lauren noticed this is so cool. The rigging on the ceiling is in the shape of the PlayStation buttons. It's that attention to detail that shows Sony cares. Excuse me, Mr. Worm, how do you feel about the PlayStation 4's industrial design compared to the Xbox One? Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that is a good point. It's really come a long way since the 80s, but it kind of, you know, throws back to the glory days of Sony. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, thank you very much. So Forza Motorsport 5 also has a really nice car on display here at E3, and I also believe they will release their game and probably the next 3 versions of it before Gran Turismo 6 actually comes out. Is this your Windows phone? Yeah. 9. We're up to 9.
Windows?
No, I always try to. I keep track of everyone I've met with a Windows phone. I'm trying to get up to 13, like the Cylons.
Last year.
The nuclear.
920.
920, yeah. So it looks like this is a Connect 2.0 demonstration. Okay, there's the depth map. It does have a lot higher resolution than the first Connect, which means that half of the Connect sales will continue to go to universities and scientists who use them in cool robotics and scanning projects, which is great. They fixed it all now. Now it's a single. This one's also single die. Vents, vents, and more vents, followed by vents. So let's examine the ports in the Xbox. It's a new Connect port there. IR out. I don't know if they'll use that. Ethernet, USB 3.0, HDMI, SPDIF, HDMI in and out, and then if you look at the power plug, this tells us that the Xbox One will use an external power brick. This is pretty cool. It's kind of a ruggedized PlayStation 3 case with a screen built in. So yesterday we were talking about swag bags and the differences between them. So this swag bag is made of a cloth type fibrous material. It's not like a big kite like the big PDP ones we've seen. So yeah, this is more of the line of what I look for in a swag bag. So one thing that's kind of a challenge at E3 is trying to find the end of the line. Over here, I believe this is the Titanfall line, which is the new Respawn game. And we're going to see if we can find the end of it. It's kind of like the Yellow Brick Road or something. So let's go this way. Okay, it's still the line. Some of these people have been here for decades. They actually built the convention center around them as they waited for the Titanfall line.
Oh my god,
Okay. Sir, are you a recent addition to the line, or am I not there yet?
I think he's last. Oh, yeah, he left. So yeah, that's the end.
This is the end of the line. How do you feel as the most recent person at the end of the line?
Feels better. Just might as well stand around in the line.
That's true. How long do you think this line will be?
I don't want anything about it.
So the AMD A-Series Apu, and this particular product is brand new. It was just launched last week, actually, out in Computex in Taiwan. This product is so special because it essentially takes all the goodness and all the heritage that we built on the Trinity product, which was the second gen, and makes everything better, faster, higher performance. This product is a product that we're giving away here at E3 to some lucky winners. And essentially it is an A8 quad-core product. It's a 6600K. If you see a K in the model number and you see this black box, it denotes that the product is unlocked and it's overclockable.
Right.
And you're familiar with that.
Yeah. So I found one of the Revision 3 guys from the Tech Feed News.
Yes.
Where you got the little thing that goes and bites the thing.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Really?
We killed it.
That?
We killed it. We killed it.
I kind of like that.
Well, you were the only one. All of us in there, we were sick of Chompy, and we said, all right, we need to do a complete refresh.
It was like refreshingly lame, kind
yeah,
of.
and it was refreshingly lame, but for us having to see it every day, I think we just got to the point where we're like, this is just lame. So we did a complete graphic refresh.
Compared to the rest of your motion graphics, though, it was a little weak.
Yeah. Well, we have a whole new graphics package now and a new logo.
Oh!
Yeah.
I think it's got kind of like a retro look to it. Right?
Yeah.
Are you still doing it with Annie?
Yeah. Annie and I still
Cool.
do 7 days a week, twice a day.
And that's on. I see it on YouTube. But
It's on YouTube.
Revision 3.
It is now, as of last week, on Revision 3, AOL, MSN, all those other outlets for it. So yeah, it's youtube.com/techfeed.
So it turns out there's another type of tech that you like, and that's old pinball machines.
Love old pinball machines. Love them.
So what got you into pinball?
I've always been one of those kids who was into the arcades, and I love arcade games. I have my own arcade games at home, but I always loved pinball because I had a 7-Eleven down the street. It had Street Fighter 2 on one side, and then it had a Terminator 2 on the other.
The pinball machine.
The pinball machine.
Yeah.
And I would play
Ritchie game.
Steve Ritchie, yeah, of course. So I would play Terminator 2 more than I would play Street Fighter 2 because I just enjoyed it more. And I think Terminator 2 was the one that turned me on. Like I said, this is the machine that I'm like, I love this game.
That's one of the more affordable '90s DMD games.
But what really got me turned on to the hobby was a friend of mine had a taxi at his apartment, and I remember playing that as a kid, and I loved it. And he had the Maryland taxi, not the Lola taxi.
Oh, the slightly rare one.
Yeah, there's like 200 of those out there or something
Yeah,
before
it's
they
more
got.
than they say, but it's still less than. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a minority.
So he had a Maryland taxi, and I was just playing that every night. We would just go over there, drink beers, and play taxi.
You give to me a ride,
Yeah.
right?
Pinball stranded.
So now you started your own collection?
Yeah, I started my own collection. A friend of mine, he had a whole bunch of pinball machines in storage. He couldn't store them anymore, so he did the thing where he's like, well, I'm just going to get rid of a bunch of them. So I picked up a Sure Shot, a Gottlieb Sure Shot from '75. I really want to learn how to restore, and there was a totally beat up Bally 1978 Playboy.
Okay.
And I remember playing that as a kid and being like, "Ooh, this is dirty, kind of." I think, but it's not. It's totally. It's totally tame. But that game was played to death. The one that I have. I love the art on something like Future Spa. I'd love to get Future Spa.
Yeah,
Future Spa is so weird.
It's clearly like a Logan's Run kind of thing.
Yeah.
Game.
I love the back glass for Skateball. I think Skateball.
I've never seen that one.
Oh, Skateball! It's just a guy. He's a redhead dude with a mustache, and he's skateboarding like this, and there's a cool like 1970s boogie van in the back. It's like Skateball. I don't know. And the guy on it looks like my friend Sam, and so we're like, we need to get you that game, but we've never found one.
We're making a game now that we're going to manufacture.
Is it the haunted house one?
Yep, it's the premise is like paranormal ghost hunting TV reality shows.
Are you going to actually produce it?
Yes, we are.
Really?
We're going to actually.
Because I've been watching your videos about how you've been making it, but I didn't know that you were going to mass produce it.
Yes, we are. So I'll show you in a second. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, congratulations.
Okay, now I'll show you the photo. We're here at the Ubisoft booth, and apparently there's going to be a live demonstration of Assassin's Creed 4, The Pirate Booty. So let's check it out. So these guys here are playing the game, so let's see how they do. Pretty cool foliage. Oh, double kill! Well, he's out of ammo. The cool robot arms, the Destiny monitors, that's so neat. I hope they just rented them because I'm sure they're expensive.
I don't think you can do that without the software being in on it. Oh, it's like a general purpose.
It's
every time. Okay. Here we're flip back over again. We're here with Remy Vincent.
yes. Yes.
And the first time we were contacted us back when you were with Infinity Ward.
Yes, sir.
And now you're with Respawn.
Yeah.
Titanfall.
Yeah.
And you contacted me about latency monitors because latency is a big problem with video game controllers. Can you just briefly explain it to us?
When you press the button, like it takes like a little bit of time for that button to get to the machine, and the game to figure out what to do, and then figure out what to draw, and then appear on the TV.
Right.
So like every millisecond, like it's one of those things people might not be conscious of, but the longer that delay, the worse the controls feel. We had it was like a 60 hertz camera or 120 hertz camera, and we'd have the controller and the TV in the shot, and we'd press the button. And it was just awful. So we were like, oh, it'd be cool if the thing just lit up. And we were like, oh.
And I really appreciate that you brought that idea to me.
Oh, no problem.
And it gave me a new product to make. And I should
awesome.
mail you a check sometime. But
No. You can, as a favor to me, you can play this game.
We still sometimes play Call of Duty 4.
That's awesome. That's the first game I worked on.
That probably seems like 3 lifetimes ago.
It was a while ago.
Infinity Ward used to be 2015, right?
Yep.
They did Medal of Honor Allied Assault.
Yeah.
Which was a great game.
It was awesome.
And then they did Call of Duty, which is even more cinematic.
Yep, they did COD 1, then COD 2, and then COD 4.
Yeah, I think COD 1 was the first game I played with my new 64 meg video card. Those are good times.
There's so many megs.
And I'm looking forward to making more controller monitors for the next generation.
For these things, yeah.
Yeah, and then I just made one with a light sensor on the screen.
Nice.
And then it'll say like how many milliseconds all the way.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's my next step because my big plan is to resell them all again.
Yes,
All right, well, yeah, thanks for talking with us today.
No problem, thanks. Good to meet you.
Xbox has kindly provided E3 with a free complimentary giant green screen. So at E3, lines just spontaneously and randomly form for no apparent reason. I think this is the line for a garbage can. Oh, wait, there's a door over there. Maybe there's something in that door. We're out here in Smokers Land, also barbecue land. The barbecue is really good. Definitely better than the food inside. Also, I believe there's some beer out here, which is nice. And this is that's a Ritz-Carlton tower. It's pretty cool. It kind of looks like the PlayStation 4. Coincidence? You decide. So that was E3 2013. We came, we saw, we played 4 or 5 games total. Well, that's how we now end our broadcasting day at E3 2013. Thank you and God bless.